Yeah, we don't kick doors in like that because you kick in the door and it doesn't budge, you're hurting your knee. Sometimes when suspects have remorse, they'll cover the victim's face because they don't want the victim to look at them.
Murdered. Oh my God.
Most people will react this way because that's like something like, wow, I know somebody that got murdered. Hey everybody, my name is Chris. I'm a police officer and I'm also a SWAT commander, so that makes me extra cool. We're going to be using my detective background to talk about how police handle crime in LA Noire. Be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes of Experts React.
All right, gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this over before lunch.
What's interesting is, yes, we are still very locked into things that we have done forever. So when I was a detective, we would have morning briefing. And it's all of us, what we call a bullpen, and all of us are together at our desks. And we would be discussing the current cases, any custodies that may have happened, any significant investigations from the night before. So yes, this actually happens every day. There is some type of briefing. In this particular scene, as a detective, the first thing is that the killer has no remorse. The killer was not trying to hide the victim. Sometimes when suspects have remorse, they'll cover the victim's face because they don't want the victim to look at them. They'll hide the body because they don't want to be discovered. This is showing that there is little to no remorse. This is a message. The red lipstick, the marking on the body, this body was meant to be discovered.
Something removed, a ring most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
Some suspects, because it's not always to deal with murders, take a trophy. The reason why they take a trophy is, in my opinion, is they want to relive the crime when they see it. It reminds them of the crime. They got power from that crime, whatever that crime may be a murder, a rape, a child molestation. That's kind of dark, huh? That was kind of like really dark. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick that up and put our fingerprints on it. We're talking about a time where we really didn't even talk about fingerprints. So I don't really think that they're really worried about picking things up. Now today, in today's world, when we have a crime scene, we're going to call in the crime lab, as you kind of see here. We definitely don't want contamination. Like with this particular thing where he's picking this up, I would be putting my DNA on it with the gloves. We don't want that. We want the labs to be able to find the suspect's DNA or the victim's DNA or whatever DNA is on there, and I don't want to add to it. In this scene here where he picks it up off the ground, unless that's been photographed and marked, I can't put that object back down on the ground exactly the way it was found. So that's why we got to make sure that it was tagged and photographed.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
It's really realistic as far as them roping it off, keeping the press at a certain area, as well as using the evidence markers on the various areas where they found evidence. So definitely realistic. Someone did their homework on that one.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with.
That's a reality. I'm going to send the patrol officers to start doing door-to-door searches for anybody who may have seen something suspicious in this particular area. Number one, we want to look for clues. But number two, we don't want months later someone coming out and saying, I saw this and the police never interviewed me. So we want to make sure we fill all those gaps. Because remember, a defense attorney is going to try to get their client off on a technicality. So if they could find some witness that we never witnessed or we never interviewed, that could be detrimental to the case. Oh my God.
90% of murders are domestic, folks. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. This will be the same.
Now, I will say the majority of murders are committed by somebody the victim knows, that's for sure. But as far as domestic, I'm going to venture to say it is high, but not that high anymore.
What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh my God.
Her reaction is classic. Most people will react this way because that's like something like, wow, I know somebody that got murdered. I think once we hear that, we put ourselves in their shoes right away. Like, that could be me. They don't want to see that real world that I live in. I live in a different world than most people live in. I live in a world where I actually see this and see the dark side of humanity. I remember one day I was on an investigation. I told someone that they could walk over and take a look at a certain part of the crime scene, and they went like, why would I do that? And I thought to myself, oh my God, you're normal. And it was one of those things where I realized I was abnormal. So her reaction is classic. I wish I had the time that these detectives have, where I get just to handle one case at one time. Unfortunately, most detectives have quite a few cases on their caseload. When I was investigating domestic violence, that was my desk. I had about 30 cases on my profile that I was actively investigating. Yeah, we don't kick doors in like that. We have rams now. We have different devices that allow us, because you kick in the door and it doesn't budge, you're hurting your knee. I don't know if I have enough strength in my legs to break in the door, but you know, it is what it is. It's Hollywood. I get it.
You took the ring because you found out who gave it to him.
What are you talking about?
This game does a good job of it, and I like the directing of it. He's trying to really tell you he's not part of this. He's truly bordering on being upset for his wife, as well as being angry that he's being told that he's the suspect. He's still in disbelief, and that's leading me to believe that there is somebody else involved in this. It's quite funny. I get asked that a lot on the good cop, bad cop. It does happen. I've actually even used it as a patrol officer, where my partner will be the good guy and I will be the bad guy. I don't know, for whatever reason, I always have to play the bad guy. Maybe I'm just good at it because I get to be the jerk. I get to be the asshole. And then they look at the partner like, are you kidding me? Who is this guy? You know, and they'll be like, you know what? I don't want to talk to him. I'll talk to you. And it works. It's amazing. It works. Detective stuff, you got to be a little bit soft shoe on this, because sometimes you could shut your suspect down if you come too hard at them.
So now you're going to tell me you loved her? The DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
Someone who's guilty, they may shut down right away and say, ooh, the cops know it was me, and I'm not going to say another word. Now, we do have the narcissist. They may keep talking because they think they're smarter than us. And that's where you get a detective who just starts and they're learning their craft, and eventually they become very good at it, and they become that seasoned detective that knows how to do this and when to do it.
LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a... I'll go get our wheels.
I've worked with some detectives that were quite not in the shape that they should be in. Yeah, they're going to run about 3 feet and get on the radio and call for help, because that's about the best they're going to do. You and your partner both have radios, and you're going to coordinate with the patrol units to help you during your foot pursuit. But it does happen. It is part of police work. It just all depends on the shape that you're in, if you're going to go for it. I don't know now if I'm personally going to start scaling down drains, but I'll definitely chase you a little bit until we get to a certain point where I'm like, no, let's just go ahead and call in the units and do a containment of the area.
Clean this ass off the road.
The funny part is this probably was realistic at this time.
You did a grand job, lads.
I'll be honest, on this particular game, I'm loving it. I'm probably going to buy this game. The team that put this together did a really fantastic job. It looks like they did some really good historical homework as far as getting the dress, the way people talk to each other. I'll even go to the way the cops are acting, just the way police work was back then. And I probably are going to be very thoroughly surprised in how much I enjoy playing this game, to find how close it is to actual police work. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below. If you didn't like this video, remember, I'm the police and I can find out where you're at. No, I'm just kidding. Like the comment, subscribe if you want more videos just like this one.